this man that we're gonna watch, we're gonna listen to what he has to say about the vaccination rates and all this other stuff. It's funny how he had some problems. I'm not saying that they were all validated and true. I'm just saying there was some stuff that he was going through that seemed to just, it kind of disappeared, which is a little bizarre. But let's see what this man has to say about stuff.
But the vaccination rate has declined.
Hold on, let me actually just get this. We'll keep it like this. Sorry, you guys can't see it.
This is not a New York phenomenon. This is a nationwide phenomenon. As you know, I'm head of the Governors Association. Every governor is talking about the number of people now coming in for vaccines is declining.
All right, so, and just to give perspective, the reason why that's happened is because the Branch Covidians went and lined up to get their jab. And the Branch Covidians they were, how do I explain this? Falling over each other to get this jab. For reasons, that's all up to them. And you knew that there was a certain portion of the population, guys like myself, who assessed everything that was going on and just decided that it was never worth it. Considering our age demographic, considering our health demographic that we're in, who we live with, the risk associated with it, and looking at the numbers, it just didn't seem to make sense to take what is a literal experimental jab. So what happened is everybody that was a Branch Covidian went and got it, and they got it as quick as they could. Now you're getting to the people so now all that is left of the people that either are not getting, or at least just are really, that's really it. In some capacity, they're not really interested in getting this. They call it vaccine hesitancy, but like I said, I'm not hesitant about anything. I'm simply not getting it. So now they're trying to figure out, now not enough people can get it, right? Meaning that they expected more folks to be just lining up getting this jab, and it's simply not the case. The Branch Covidians got it, and we're good. Like we, the guys that aren't getting it, are like, all right, y'all got it, whatever. Y'all continue whatever y'all gonna do, and we gonna do whatever it is that we gonna do despite not getting it. So they're confused.
Why? Part of it is understandable. There was a group of people who wanted to get the vaccine right away. And remember how people were fighting for vaccine appointments right away?
Branch Covidians.
Some people were hyper anxious.
Yep, remember that.
A lot of them are in my family.
Yeah, and some of them, and a lot of that's because of dickheads like you guys who had fear-mongered. That's very true.
I want to get a vaccine, I want to get a vaccine, I want to get a vaccine. So you had a hyper anxious population to begin with. Then you had a second-tier population who wanted to get the vaccine. They weren't that anxious. They've gotten the vaccine. And you're working your way through, really, the population. You have two groups. One I call the youthful, one I call the doubtful. Young people are not getting vaccinated. Why? They were never the focus. They weren't even eligible early on. Everyone said the young people can get it and they're going to be fine. There was a transmission risk. But this whole COVID was introduced as young people really don't have to worry about it. And then we reinforced that when we said the eligibility was by age. The doubtful are vaccine hesitant people. I'm afraid of it. I don't understand it. I don't trust it. Government, I don't trust. I don't trust any of it. I don't want to take a needle. I don't want to put something into my body. The doubtful is a problem unto itself.
And again, like, imagine being that guy. And this is why these guys always argue from a place of authority, albeit fraud. Definitely when they work from the government. They just don't like the idea that there's people that simply don't listen to them. And they try to make it seem like we're the fucking problem. They can't ever see a world in which they are not the bad guys, or excuse me, they are the bad guys, or rather they can't see a world in which there are folks that simply don't agree with how they do things. So you're an issue, and he worded it like the way that he did, and I believe that's representative of a lot of people. They see you as a fucking problem. You're an issue. You're an issue. You're an issue in itself.
The youthful is a problem unto itself, and we need to address both separately.
Like how? Like, okay, you have people who have, again, all statistical metrics highlight this. Most people simply that are younger are going to get this virus, and they're not going to have a whole lot of issues that are associated with it. Will there be outliers? Of course, outliers with anything. Will there be rarities? Of course. But the vast majority of the people that are going to die from this or be hospitalized are of the older demographic. Those younger folk, they simply are going to be fine. Most of them are. That's just the reality. All the numbers show that. Definitely if they don't have any sort of other underlying issues or anything. And to act like, for them to be like, okay, I understand that I don't really want to eject that in my body. The fact that they immediately go to, well, you're a problem is just, oh my God.
You look at the age stratification on the vaccination, it is very clear.
And here it is, kind of, I would have to, like,
plus didn't take it, but I can, as much as 65, but I understand that. I've had a lot of conversations. There's
you can see that there.
Plus, they're anxious about a vaccine. They have other problems.
And what you're looking at right now, by the way, is it says % of New York is fully vaccinated by age group. And what it says is obviously the younger folk, which all this is high. This is high as hell, as far as I'm concerned, nearly 25%. Between the age of 16 and 25. But over 75, basically 65 and older, you're talking 73, from 65 to 74. 75 and older is actually lower than the 65 to 74, which is weird. But nonetheless, it obviously increases by age.
65 to 74 is the highest population rate, which makes sense when you think about it, and then it goes straight downhill. And the 16 to 25, we're at 24%. So we're at 60% as a population. We're at 24% with 16 to 25. 26 to 34, we're at 35%. That's where we have to get the numbers up.
Why?
The youthful and the doubtful. The doubtful, I'd say a hardcore 20%. It's philosophical. It's fear-driven. It's misinformation-driven. But we also have to
like they can't ever see that they're incorrect. That's insane, man. They never can see that. It's like everything that they say is correct, and like everybody that isn't lining up to get the vaccine, it's because you simply are misinformed. It's like, you mean to tell me that you just frown upon people that don't listen to you that much, to where you just can't see a world where they have actually assume the risk? Or rather assess the risk, and they find it that it's something worth assuming. Like they can't even consider that an actual reality.
Attack the doubtful problem. What's the key to supercharging the vaccination rate? Eliminate the excuses, increase access, and to the doubtful, communicate the facts. You have no factual argument against the vaccine.
Yes, I do. I have plenty of factual arguments against the vaccine, and that's basically that was the hard hitting thing. Let's talk about the facts. Factually, it's an IFR. If we go by way of John Ioannidis, matter of fact, because I don't want to talk out of my behind, let's make sure that we actually look at this, and I'm going to show you right here. Coming from John Ioannidis, it's coming from the WHO, so I cannot be banned from the YouTubes of the world, because this is directly on the WHO bulletin. Let's, of course, take a look as I move this back where it usually is. John Ioannidis looking at the surveillance data, and there's 61 total studies that have been done all across the world. And as you can see, the median for COVID-19 infection fatality rate was 0.27, corrected to 0.23%. And when you look at people, what is that? In people, the 70 years in infection and fatality rates range from 0.0% to 0.31%. So you're talking about almost zero, basically. It's a 99% survival rate when it comes to this for folks in our age group. Those are the facts. I'm just going by what the actual experts is. That's what they said. I mean, you want to talk? They say we see this, and it's public information. You can get it fairly easily. And they act like you talking out of your ass. This is what the facts say. Absolutely, there's facts against that. The facts highlight that if I do catch it, I am less likely. It's very unlikely that I'm going to be hospitalized, and it's very unlikely that I'm going to never need to go to that I'm going to die from it. Therefore, considering that it's not worth injecting something that is, albeit experimental, into my body. That's what the facts say. And we're basing, or rather, that latter point on what the facts show us. But you can still spread it. Who would I be spreading it to aside from other people that have also assumed the risk? If the vaccine works like you say that it will, nobody. If it works like you say it does. If it's not, then we're still going to pass it to people that somehow got the vaccine, and well, what was the point? But the facts show right there that you're talking about infected fatality rates in the 0.0s, bro. The corrected median, talking about on the 70 years of age, is 0.05%. That's the IFR. That's the you getting infected and you dying. That's the percentage. That's what the facts show. And they like to talk as if we can't look at that and analyze it and then come to our own conclusion as far as what's best for us. They assume every single doctor agrees that you should be getting a jab regardless of age, and they simply don't. So for him to be as arrogant as he is, along with other people that are within government and people that are actually working within the medical industry, they're so cocky and arrogant and egotistical that they just simply cannot believe, or rather see, a world in which people actually have also assessed the factual information and just simply come to a different conclusion as far as what's best for them and how they'll handle their own health. You just watched a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake. Catch us live at 12 p.m. throughout the week over at youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and follow us over at odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. If you want to watch the entire video cast after the show is over, just be sure to become a member on the YouTube channel. Of course, the full audio portion of the podcast is available for free on all major digital platforms, or just visit forcanonsake.com.